See what happens. Might be worse. Oh, okay, we're gonna try. Thank you so much for having me. Please know that I consider this a great honor to be here with you, and I want you to know that as you were in the park, I could feel your spirit. I could feel your commitment to this whole cause and this whole reason why we're here tonight. And I want you to know that I receive you and I stand with you with that whole purpose and that whole mindset. A little about me. In 2011, I established my own foundation called the Power of Words Foundation. My thought process on that was that I wanted to create a foundation that would empower women and teens to ask for their best life, to learn how to create their own best life and what that looks like. Because so many of our teens especially, they need positive role models and women to step up, and men for that matter as well. So that was my thought process in doing that. I do have a background in social work and psychology in college, and everything that I've learned and that I know about domestic violence teaches me and tells me that this is not exclusive to any one type of family or type of people. It crosses all denominations, all religious communities, all socioeconomic groups and parties. So really this is an issue that affects us all. And you sit here tonight and I realize that your pain is deep. For some of you, that pain is so deep, you just don't even know how you make it through the day sometimes, right? I want you to know that this subject is very close to my heart as well. Because about 20 years ago, I was in a relationship where I was being abused severely and didn't know how I was going to get out. Didn't know how I was going to get away from him and escape. Seemed like he was everywhere. Seemed like everyone I knew, he knew. Everybody that I could talk to, he was talking to. And it was a scary time. And that was 20 years ago. Think about how easy it is with the technology we have to know where we are and to know what we're doing. It may even seem even scarier to get away in this time. But I want you to know that it is possible and that you are worth so much more than being mistreated. I hope that you will hear that from me as a survivor myself. I am currently an author and am working on publishing my book, which is exactly about what we have lived, what we know, which is that there has got to be more than abuse and pain. There has got to be more for us as women, as men, as children. We have got to demand more for ourselves. From my foundation, I actually established a specific teen workshop group, and I meet with teens, and if you're interested in having your teens work with me, these are free workshops. I'm not trying to push a plug here, but I do meet with them once a month, and I just act as a mentor, and we talk about ways to empower yourself, how to express yourself outside of relationships, how to express yourself outside of, or define yourself outside of who you're dating and who your boyfriend is, and all of those kinds of things. And we do that through art mediums, which proves to be a fantastic method for teens to express. And I would love to have any of your daughters or your sisters or friends there. So I understand that tonight is about grief, and it's about missing someone deeply. And I realize that that person can never be replaced. You can never replace that person. And I am not asking you to. And you need to know that right now, if you're angry, you have every right to be angry. I am of the belief that anger is actually very useful, and it has its place definitely in the healing process. So know that that is something that you don't want to stay in forever, that forgiveness is our ultimate goal, but that anger is very normal and very actually potentially healthy in your situation. So I want you to know that I match your determination to live a different life. Every single one of you, men, women, children here. This is not just a type of abuse that's specific to women. I think women certainly are normally the victims. However, we have to acknowledge that honoring anyone in our life and honoring an individual in our life requires that we show them love and respect, whether that's a man, a child, a woman, whoever's hurting who. It doesn't make it okay if you're a woman doing this to a man, certainly not. So in this moment we choose, and I am asking you to make a decision. I am giving you an assignment. Who am I to do that? I am nobody. I am just another woman here, but I care deeply about this community and about the people. And I do feel that my mission here on earth is to try to empower women and teens, not because I'm better, but because I've lived it. I have to feel like I lived those things for a reason. There had to be a reason, and I survived. We're all survivors, so let's not take this gift that we've been given as survivors and take it lightly. Let's complete this circle by honoring ourselves and by teaching those that we love within our relationships to demand more. When we talk about domestic violence, we have to talk about prevention. We have to. We have to take the time to sit down with our teens, our young adults. The girls that I do my workshops with are ages 10 to 18. We don't mess around. We're totally appropriate. We talk about self-esteem. It's a non-religious affiliated group. There's no religious affiliation there. However, we do talk about the importance of honoring your spirit. Okay? So important. There is someone right now in this group that is continually in the cycle of abuse. If that's you, I want you to know that you do have a choice. What we know about human behavior is we can't change our behavior. We can't change it. All the research and all this money and whatever we put into science, what we need to know is we can't change it. We can only replace it with better, more functional behavior. So essentially, if you're being harmed and you're in this dance, you need to know that you can get out. But you will replace it by replacing it with people that you can mentor to. You're going to replace it with better examples. You're going to replace it with better experiences, and you're going to educate yourself. But you cannot do it until you reach out. As a community, we need to honor these people when they do reach out. When a woman or a teen, 1 in 3 relationships with our teenagers is affected with violence. Relationship violence. That means 1 in 3 girls, collectively, teenage girls that are of a dating age, they are affected in a relationship with violence. We have to teach our girls to demand more for themselves. We have to flesh out what a functional relationship looks like. And a lot of times with abusers, they sort of win you over. I know that in my case, my boyfriend sort of won me over a little bit at a time and exerted control over me. And it was really subtle ways that he did that, telling me what to wear, how to do my hair, how I should change the way that I talk, telling me who I could talk to, where I could go. All those little subtleties that if I would have had someone say, hey, that's really not normal. I know you think you love him and you're 19 years old and this is your first love. You fully intend to marry this person. That's really not healthy. And that's not what you deserve. So in this moment, I'm asking you to choose, to make a choice. And I can tell you that as we implement these prevention programs, we're going to see great results. You will see improvements here, and you'll see improvements in your community. If you want a less violent community and you want a more sense of connectedness, it has to start with the family, and it has to start with you being the best example that you can. So I'm going to stand with you in my commitment to do this, and I want you to know that there is hope. Absolutely. We cannot honor the people that you have lost tonight by continuing in a state of violence. When we create our best life, that means that we honor ourselves and we take care of ourselves, we be safe, we treat others with respect, and we just commit to living a life of creativity and passion, whatever that looks like for you. I'm gonna ask you to do that, and I beg you to be an example to those you know. And I am asking you to not live a life where you feel like you have to keep this a secret and keep it to yourself. Let's complete this circle by honoring ourselves and those that we love. And if you are in a situation where you're being harmed, know that there is hope for you. I am a perfect example of not knowing if I could get out, and I did, because I reached out, and some powerful people in my life were intuitive enough to see that there was a problem and try to channel me to get help in the right direction. I am grateful for this opportunity, and I want you to know that you don't ever have to stand alone. Let's really stand up against this and do something powerful. It starts with every single person making that commitment. So I'm asking you, I am begging you to make that commitment right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. We're going to have a musical number, and we're going to have